Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to 999. So we had some revelations in the story about Ace. Apparently he has the face blindness and he's the owner of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. So he integrates into the story somewhat. Now I don't know why down this path you have this conversation in this escape room with Lotus and they talk about face blindness. I don't know what that adds to the story, but him being the person in charge of Cradle Pharmaceutical probably makes a lot of sense. It might be that if he didn't have face blindness, he would recognize Lotus, who either works for Cradle Pharmaceutical and is hiding that, or was the mother of two of the kids at Cradle Pharmaceutical, kidnapped to the point where you would assume that he would either recognize the mother or recognize, just recognize Lotus, or recognize Lotus because she looks like some of the kids that he would have kidnapped. Assuming he's not the president of Cradle Pharmaceutical, like after the kidnapping from 9 years ago, and he's like the new good guy that's in charge of Cradle Pharmaceutical instead of there being a bad guy, and all like the bad guys at that company got fired and left. Storyline wise though, we also are getting more little tidbits of information, so we now know a little bit more about Santa, but I really don't know how these revelations end up in any kind of logical ending versus just a random ending, like you get stabbed in the back and you don't know who did it, or you get stabbed in the back and you don't know who did it, or you get stabbed in the back and you know Clover did it, which seems like that is kind of the ending for a lot of them. I maybe you got hit in the head in the submarine ending instead of stabbed in the back. We are at the worst puzzle here, and if it weren't for the fact that we have this bad puzzle that then lines up to another bad puzzle back to back, and that then unlocks a decent puzzle but not really a welcome puzzle by the time you're doing 3 in a row, it's rather frustrating. So let's see, we're trying to skip through all of this. Yeah, we would have probably been able to just power through in the last recording and see that ending. When we get this final ending, if something doesn't make itself very obvious as far as how we get the good ending, I'm gonna have to look up a walkthrough. I don't see a way that doesn't end up being the case. So that's 6, and 6, 7, 13 would be 3. So start with that, and then we'll try and just build up more this way, and then this should get us a couple of lights lit up without really having to think too much. Let's see, we now want an 8, so what do we do? Let's see if we can get a 1 to start with. So that 2, 4, and 5 should give us a 2, not a 1, come to think of it. So let's just start with that. Digital root of 1. And then is there a combination here? If we go 7 and 8, you're 15, which Then 15 plus 1 would be 16, which would be 7. 7 and 9 would be 16 plus 1, which would be 8. Right? 7. Yeah. 1, 7, and 9 should give us 8. So now we just need a 2 and a 5. So 9 plus, let's see. Can we get to 21 now from this point? 9 plus 8 would be 17. And then 17 plus 4 would be 21. So now can we get to a 5 digital root, which would have to be something like 22. That's too high. Or 14. So 6 plus 5 would be 11. 12, 13, 14, alright, yeah, so 5 plus 6 is 11, plus 3. Okay. Did something wrong in that? What did we do wrong? What can we do to get 11? 1, 2, and 8 is 11, which should then be a digital root of 2. So then we need either 21 or 12 down this way. See, 7 and 7 would be 14. 7 and 6 would be 13. So 21 I think is it. 9 plus 7 would be 16, plus 5 would be 21. There we go. So this puzzle's fine. Like, it's a little long. It would have been a lot nicer if this long puzzle was in one of the flow paths, and then the 15 puzzle was in a different flow path, and then the box moving puzzle was even in a third flow path, instead of all three of them being in this one escape room back to back. Alright, so we now need to get 15, not 16. And the boxes, if we'll just start kind of where the boxes were laid out on the floor in an earlier section, they were laid out in this pattern, which actually solves a lot of the 15 puzzle immediately, because this is 15 and this is 15 and this is 15 and this is 15. The only things that aren't 15 are this, which is 18, and this, which is 12. So if we were to say put that here and that here, that's 11, 12, that's 15, 15, 18. I imagine what we need to do is probably something closer to this. and this, and something closer to this, and this. So 15 here, and one short here. This can't work. I didn't write down the solution here, and I imagine there's multiple solutions, but I imagine there is something along the lines of this, that there needs to be a 9, an 8, and a 7, all in disconnecting areas, because it really doesn't make a lot of sense that you would see 9 plus this would be 3, so 3 can't work with that, so maybe 9 goes over here and 8 goes over here. It's possibly a bit of a question as far as how many solutions there are here. There might be a lot, there might not be. Might be only one. So I think I solved it, and I think I solved it a little bit differently, so there must be multiple solutions. But yeah, even on the second time doing it and realizing that f equals 15, not 16, which did add about 20 minutes of extra hassle to doing this puzzle, it's still not really fun to immediately then be put into a third puzzle. There's really not like a game over section that you could run into in between these puzzles either, so it really puts you in this situation where you either get frustrated and just rage quit the game, or you have to power through this twice. And this would have been nice if you could just say, pop up a screen after you've played it once and said, would you like to skip this puzzle? That would be very nice, and certainly I have seen that in other puzzle type games. Just a lot of setup. A lot of setup to have to program this thing. Alright. So, you don't directly control things, but you can, I guess, use the D-pad to move your cursor fairly quickly. So I can do like this, and then still have to, in one step, do all of that, and in one step do all of this. And I'm just hoping that I remember what I did fairly well. Think I've probably messed up here. Yeah. Let's try that again. We've got to come over here. Come over to this part. Come possibly all the way over here. Nope, did it wrong again. It doesn't reset your cursor where you are, which is weird. Push that, and then push that down. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's actually one slightly faster path to go this way, but I don't think it really matters. And that leaves you with 3 extra moves. So I feel like there were several ways to solve that. But even having done that once, it still took 3 different tries. And then you have this custom animation that's just terrible. It's really, really bad game production to say, hey, let's animate that instead of having a CGI 3D animator make something more important. Storyline wise, there's really nothing stopping Santa from sneakily grabbing the gun. I mean, we could pretend like, wait, because we are going here, maybe Santa just refuses to sneak back. Mommy. This would be the point where you would see a mummy.
Just kidding.
But no, it is Santa that comes over here.
Okay.
Apparently Santa and Junpei both come to it.
Small key and a gun?
So the code must be on the gun.
Looks pretty old.
I wonder if this is a replica.
I guess maybe you would just guess the
real bullets.
If there's numbers on the bullets,
If this is real,
or if there, it would be like a Saw movie certainly if there were numbers on the bullets or a key in the bullets, or a serial number on the gun. But this path doesn't let you collect the gun and see the number anyways. If the number is there.
We're in enough danger already.
I guess maybe
I suppose you're right.
the key you get here,
Maybe Zero put this
if
gun
the
here,
key
hoping
that you
something like
get
might happen.
was related to a numbered door, then that would be the number you put in the
Maybe he put it here
coffin.
to make us fight each
But
other.
the key you get here, I don't think is a numbered door
In that
key.
case, we should
It
most
doesn't have an
certainly leave it
astrological
here. I, for one, have
symbol
no
or
desire to
anything.
let Zero control me.
Like, the code for the coffin might be
Okay, we've got that figured out.
the idea that the sun is 0, 0 is the sun, and then
Of course not. We'll take that with
Mercury
us.
would be 1, Venus would be 2, Earth would be 3, and maybe that would mean something. But yeah, this is just a rusty key. So we'll click on this several times just to see if maybe we can do something there. But nope. And otherwise, it doesn't seem like you can do anything. So there's kind of no game play here. So it's really, really questionable why the story would change much here. Like in one ending, we get stabbed by an unknown assailant, maybe Ace, and somehow we've unlocked all the other keys now to unlock this path and get a different bad ending. It feels like the story here should be a little bit more obvious. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Let's check it out.
Oh wait, let's go into novel mode. And then we'll just hit A. So the iron gates on these elevators are probably bad art design. They're fancy, clearly and designed to not have people walk under an elevator and get squashed, but it makes it seem like they are locked by some kind of key or mechanism when they really aren't locked by that.
Before.
We got off the one on the left just a little while ago.
So we find the 9 room,
Then we went through the number 6 door, and that took us to the engine room.
and then we
Yes,
get
and
everybody
pass through the cargo room.
together. Now, I guess there is something interesting here where Santa in this ending over here, like on the left, Santa, according to June, was the first person to say, no, we won't leave June behind and use our numbers to get through the number 9 door. So then why does he, as soon as people get back together, force June to go through the 9 door with him? Why didn't he do that at that point when he would have had the gun? It doesn't really make sense.
And now we're back here.
And if he has the gun right now, why does he not force people to open the door? 3 plus Junpei would be 8, plus Ace would be 9, leaving June behind.
In other words, we made a loop. We're back where we started.
We needed a card to get to this point.
I don't see a card reader here.
Perhaps we aren't able to activate it from this location.
Why don't you just try pushing the button?
Yeah.
This is weird because in general, this does imply that by pressing the button on this side, you've unlocked the gate somehow on the other side. Otherwise, it would have just been a case that you could have always gone through this elevator. Or maybe it's a one-way elevator and the button doesn't call the elevator on the other floor.
It works.
Yeah, that's not getting
I think so.
explained well enough.
Good. Now we can go back if we need to.
What do we do? Should we return to C deck?
They could have gone back anyways, and it would have been a little bit easier and logical to simply have a gate blocking off this hallway instead of having a second elevator, and then the gate on this side could be opened and unlocked. That way they could just use the original elevator
This
they
hallway
used.
keeps going. Even if we do end up going back, I think we should see what's down there first.
I agree. Let's go.
We're still just looking for new conversation, new dialogue.
Looks like it ends here.
Only one door.
Since this is an escape to room game, there is a question about why did they make it set in such a way that it was such a big area? Like, you really don't get anything for all these transition sections.
There isn't anything
There's-
else. It's the only way to go.
There's like no conversation happening when you run through a hall. There's no reason for it.
All right.
You
open
could
it.
have used it for some falling action to tell a better story and pace the story better, but they didn't. So you might as well have had all of these people wake up in a room, escape from one room, go into another room, and then do the next escape room, and then go into another room and escape, do the next escape room, and you can have conversations in the middle of the escape rooms, because that's what you're doing anyways. Yeah, there's any number of candle-like electric sconces that could open a secret passage. Some of the pews in this chapel are out of order. That could be a hint to a number also.
The 9 door.
We're still kind of assuming that it is number 2, the snake that is trapped in the coffin. Or it would be really weird if 0 was in the coffin. And it was a 0 you didn't recognize. I still wouldn't be surprised if Snake is 0. I feel like in the submarine ending in particular, that should have been the point where it showed and revealed that Snake was still alive. We didn't really get that hint in the right path at all. We only got that hint in the left and middle path. We also now know, after seeing one bad ending, that it does mark these reds as engaged once a team goes through them, so it is not something as easy as you can just make a second team and go through the door a second time, which is what I was assuming probably would happen.
Vacant.
But it might actually turn to vacant later on if the team actually escapes through the 9 door. It would be surprising. Well, I don't know how surprising it really would be if it turns out the 9 doors don't actually let you escape and it was just a lie at the beginning. Because if 0 is cruel enough to kidnap people and put them in such dangerous situations, he's probably cruel enough to try and cover his tracks and kill anybody that actually succeeded.
Look! Behind you!
So we spin around.
What?
And we see a second 9 door.
There's another one.
There's a book, kind of looks like a Bible, on a table there. So if this room ever does become an escape room, there might be a number in the book, but
why?
Nobody looks at it. And those flag symbols might translate to the number. Looks like there's also a organ to the far left of the screen. You're just getting a slight piece of it, an organ or a piano, which, if that is part of the solution here, doesn't that then immediately imply that 7 knows that there was going to be a puzzle that required you to go all the way back to the very beginning of the game, basically, to get the sheet music and play it? And then that would definitely make 7 0. But I don't know. I don't know if this room isn't just designed specifically to...
It's 9, no matter how you look at it.
To make it look like there's hints when there really aren't.
The red is there too. So this is a real one?
I wouldn't be upset if they had walked in this room and there had been some prop, some clearly identifiable item from every escape room in the entire game, just to be red herring clues.
Why the hell are there 2 doors?
There were always 2 doors.
I'm not sure if we're going to even get a good ending. It would really suck if it turns out that, like, I kind of have a hard time believing this. Yeah, that couldn't be the case. it couldn't be the case that we get this ending and then that's it. That's all you can do. And this just is left as a to be continued ending for the sequel. And the game just ended on a cliffhanger. Particularly when you know that the next game in this series came out on the Vita, not to the Nintendo DS. So people would have had completely different consoles and probably several years in between the releases. If I was to guess, that would be very, very annoying. Yeah, and it really wouldn't line up with the way the save files are depicting that there are 7 endings.
I mean, if you think about it, Zero never actually said there was only one door with a 9 on it.
It is hidden, but an exit can be found.
An exit doesn't mean anything.
Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9.
A door. That means something. Could have been seek the door that carries a 9.
Of course, we just assumed that there was only one. After all, why would there be more than one?
Oh, man. We fell for it. There are 2 doors. That means that all 9 people who had met at the central staircase could escape. No one would be left behind.
I don't know if that's really true, because I don't know how the number 9 character would have gotten through the 4 to 5 door. I guess if you add 9 to a digital root of 5, you would get 14, which would still just be a digital root of 5 again. And I guess if you added the 9 to a digital root of 4, you'd get through it too. So the 9th man actually pretty much could have gone through any of the doors at any point, always. There's not a single combination unless you make 5 people to make a digital root, where the 9th, that would have been the only scenario where the 9th man couldn't have joined that group. But as long as they broke up in groups of 4 and 4, the 9th man could totally have been in any group. And it would have been ideal to potentially play as the 9th person and not have to change anything, but then I guess that wouldn't have really changed anything. The story would have been exactly the same regardless of which path you went down, because the groups would not have to reshuffle to account for the 9th man ever. Same is true for the 0 bracelet.
Now it makes sense why the bracelets are numbers. 1 through 9. Divided into teams of 4 and 5 people.
This is ignoring the 0 bracelet, but it, again, wouldn't have mattered. A team of 4 with the 0 bracelet would have become a team of 5 and had the same digital root.
Digital root of both teams ends up being 9. Take 1, 2, 7, 8 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 for example. The digital root for both teams would be 9. Or 2, 3, 4, 9 and 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. The digital root is still 9. There are a bunch of combinations that work and they all end up the same way. If one team has the digital root of 9, so would the other one. What does that mean? The answer's simple. From the very beginning, the Nonary Game was designed to save all 9 people. That's how it was meant to be. Zero didn't lie. He never said there'd be only one 9 door. But anyone who found themselves in the game would have...
This is all story we've seen before.
One team would likely betray or deceive the other. Someone might be hurt. Someone might get killed. But eventually, they'd reach this very same room and realize how pointless all their infighting was. There were 2 doors. There was no need to kill each other.
I kind of wish that the good ending was actually just a very abbreviated playthrough of the game that was just on autopilot, where it just you get an epiphany and you tell everybody what you're learning right now. Everybody works together, nobody gets hurt, nobody dies, and they escape with like 8 hours to spare. I don't know if that would actually add any story or be a reasonable thing to write or animate. And it doesn't really change much because you can just kind of visualize what would have happened then. But it would be nice if there was a ending that you could see like that. If this story, I guess, had gotten really, really popular, a OAV, original animation video of that very scenario might have worked very nicely. And of course that they would have only made an OAV if the story in this game got super popular, and it didn't. And yeah, my thought that this would have done better as an anime TV series still, I think, holds up fairly well. You could have 9 episodes or more focusing on 9 different characters, each of the 1 characters, and go very well. We can tell that obviously just by how long this game has been to play.
This game was designed for that purpose. This Nonary Game. We were all arguing and fighting over doors at the beginning, but if there had been one slip up, one tiny mistake that led to more, everything could have been so much worse now.
So, what are we going to do, Junpei?
So I'm still not sure what changes the outcome here, and I don't even remember what happens in the story to get this ending. I think what happens is we just kind of wander around and people end up getting stabbed. I'm not even sure why.
Oh, right.
Other than it seems like there's just this willingness of someone who's running around to kill people and not even use the Nonary Game to kill people. He's just trying to kill people in general for some other reason.
Hey, keep it together, man. Sorry. Jeez. So what do we do?
What do you...
We need to think about our next step.
Our numbers are 1, 3, 5, and 6. That's a digital root of 6.
So if you left June...
The 4 of us can't open the number 9 door.
But if all 3 of them went through also, that kind of screws the next group, I think. Because I don't know if there's enough numbers left. Let's see, Clover and June and 7 and Lotus, which would be 23, which would be a digital root of like 5. So more people would get left behind in some combination.
The 4. Wait, don't tell me.
Yep. There's one combination that'll let 3 of us open the 9 door. That's why I'm asking, what now?
What now?
And this is weird, where Santa is basically telling Junpei that he's in charge of June's life, which is a different response than the left path, where Santa just used the gun he had snuck to determine the outcome of June's life.
No, we gotta go back.
Yep.
I agree. We cannot leave June behind.
Are you sure? I don't mind staying.
It's okay. There's no way we'd leave you behind.
Yeah, and this story so far just makes Santa and Ace look like decent people.
Besides, I'd rather drown at the bottom of the ocean than escape with this sausage fest. Maybe I'll get to go to Atlanta.
And then you have just some weird lines of dialogue. This almost feels like a different author was told, put in some comedy, put in some joke.
Are you sure you don't mean Atlantis?
Huh? Oh, right.
Like, did we need comedy at that point? Maybe, because there probably is still going to be a decent amount of story until we get back up to a
Very well.
higher tension
Best we
point.
head back to C deck then. We should be able to take the elevator we passed earlier. Perhaps Clover, Seven, and Lotus will have returned from door 1.
But even with all 7 of us,
They all knew it.
Standing around here isn't going to accomplish anything, don't you agree? Let's find the other 3 first, and then search for another solution.
I guess you're right.
All right, let's go.
I guess there's no combination between these remaining 7 people in which both teams can get 9. So at least one person's going to get left behind.
Yeah. Okay.
But it isn't a terrible idea to see if they can get back with the group in case somebody else died, since 2 people have already died already. So this might be a different story. Junpei started toward the door, then stopped.
Come to think of it, what is this room? We were so focused on the doors, we didn't even look around.
Red carpet between 2 columns of wooden benches. Would that mean anything? No.
It looks like it's set up for some kind of ceremony, but what kind?
Carpet doesn't look like it has anything informational on it. The flags have some kind of symbols on them, but they don't really look like astrological symbols per se. There's a coffin.
A coffin?
Yeah, this is different. He didn't see the coffin.
What on earth is a coffin doing in a place like this?
Hey, Junpei, the hell are you doing? Let's move.
Maybe he did see the coffin.
Right, okay. I'll be right there.
So yeah, it does just leave you with the tease of the coffin, which does put two of these stories at the coffin. And he doesn't recognize that that coffin looks exactly like the coffin in the other room, which you'd think he would. But apparently, as far as the flow is concerned, there was no conversation in that scene that would have been new.
Look, it's
Seven and Lotus.
Okay, so Seven and Lotus, and now I remember Clover ran off. So in this ending, maybe Clover and Snake are working together to kill people. If we have a digital root of 6 from the first group, and we add 8 to that, we get 14, and then 7 to that, we get 25, which would then give us a digital root of 7. So yeah, I don't think there's a math calculation minus Clover that then lets them have a digital root in total of 9. There's possibly, though, a combination. 7 and Lotus together would be 15, so they couldn't work together. But Ace and Lotus and 7 would be 16. Ace, Lotus, and June would be, let's see, you're trying to get to 9 though. So see, Lotus and 7 plus Snake. Yeah, I'm not sure there's a combination there of 2 groups of 3 even that could get through the 9 doors if you just ignore Clover.
We've got a problem.
But I don't know if that is even what's going to happen here, because we may very well just spend the rest of our time looking for Clover, and that's how we waste enough time that the killer stabs everybody in the back.
Clover is gone.
What?
So yeah, they had that joking falling action section. Now they're raising the action again.
What do you mean, gone? When?
Why?
You two went into door 1 with Clover, didn't you?
They went into door 1, and since we've been through door 1, we kind of know that there was just a straight path at that point. So she would have had to have run away at like the captain's quarters or after the captain's quarters escape room and barricaded the door, and then looped back to the central area, at which point she could have gone anywhere. But if she was going to barricade the door, it couldn't have been after the captain's quarters. It would have had to have been in the captain's quarters, where she grabbed the chair and barricaded it, and then solved that puzzle somehow without any help, which she shouldn't have been able to do unless she knows some kind of a shortcut and secret passage. So that doesn't make sense either. So she would have had to have run away at some point in the wheelhouse puzzle. Yeah. So interesting. I really don't even attribute it to Clover to be smart enough to solve some of these escape rooms by herself. She doesn't seem dumb by any means, but I think a lot of the escape room puzzles would have been over her head.
Yeah, we went through the door together.
Okay.
But Clover barely spoke to us.
They went through the number 1 door.
She just did her own thing the whole time.
There were 4 rooms on the other side of door 1.
4 rooms on the other side of door 1. And in our playthrough, I think all of those were locked, except for 1.
She wouldn't let us into the 4th room.
That doesn't make sense. It doesn't feel like there was a 4th room.
She just said, "I'll take care of this one."
And shut the door.
She must have blocked it with something on the other side.
We waited for a while, but Clover didn't come out.
We called for her, but she didn't answer.
So
Okay.
I kicked down the door and we went into the room.
What room was that?
But
It was empty.
Clover wasn't there.
So there was just like some room that we just didn't go into, apparently, when we went down that path.
There was a door on the other wall.
And it was open.
So the captain's quarters sounds like the one, but then there wasn't a body of the captain dead in the captain's quarters in this playthrough, and she was able to open the door on the other wall and escape.
We figure she opened the door and left by herself.
We ran after her, of course, but
Well, obviously we didn't find her. We figured that much out.
Again, this makes very little sense considering how it seems like Clover had played the Nonary games before, and so she should know that she would need the whole team, not just herself, to escape. So whatever Nonary game was played 9 years ago is totally working different than this one.
Clover's gone.
Honestly, in this kind of emergency situation, she ran off on her own. She sealed her own fate. Leave her.
When did this happen?
We got here just before you.
You certainly have excellent timing.
So you haven't searched anywhere other than near the staircase?
No, we haven't.
Finally, Ace spoke. This might be different. His voice had an edge of resolve and concern.
Very well then. We'd best separate and look for Clover.
So Ace suggests everybody separate and look for
We haven't
Clover.
much time left. Let's begin.
Yeah.
They get quick nods around all the 6 remaining players spread out. This door doesn't seem like it's unlocked yet. And I haven't been given a choice. Junpei and June ran to the large hospital room together. As quickly as they could, they searched around under the beds and in the corners.
She's not here.
No, she
And
isn't.
they are grouped together.
Alright, just in case, we should go take a look in the shower room.
Even if they were grouped together in groups of 2, if Ace or Santa is 0 or any other character is 0, it still would be fairly easy to overpower the other person you were with. Maybe we're going to go back to the shower room and look at the arm and finally realize that we had been told his left arm was fake.
Shower room?
That's where her brother is. She might have gone to see him. Well, we might as well check, right? Let's go.
So we go into the
We can still
shower
get
room.
in.
We should thank Seven later.
Is this different?
No luck.
No.
Yeah, I don't think she's here.
The smell is horrible.
So the stink has even gotten bigger, so apparently this corpse has been recently died, blown up. He wanted to leave the room as soon as possible, but he had to be sure. And the only way to be sure was to check the side of the divider.
Let's check the back, just to be sure.
He stopped in the corner, turned his
Oh,
head.
She's not here.
She's not here. As you expected, Clover was nowhere to be seen. The only thing on the side of the divider was a dead body lying in a reddish brown puddle of dry and drying blood. Snake.
Just where did your sister go?
Junpei whispered once. What was Snake? Asked rhetorically. Of course, there's no way to get an answer. He gave a deep sigh.
Such a horrible way to go. The skull shattered, the left arm's hideously twisted.
See, in this point, he missed this fact the first time. He should recognize the fact that that's wrong this time.
Wait.
And he seems to have done that. Bright white of the ulna was clearly visible through the remains of the skin and muscle. Bright white. Ulna. Bones. Pieces fall into place. Please explain it to me. Junpei remembered something Clover had told him in the laboratory.
My brother's left arm is, it's not like a normal person's arm.
And I feel like this information wasn't just given to me because I unlocked the keys. It feels like that information was given to me because I got other endings.
The accident hurt him really bad.
Of course. Of course. Why didn't I realize it earlier?
Good question. Clover had told Junpei that Snake's left arm was a prosthetic, but the left arm of the corpse behind the divider was clearly a real human arm, or at least it had been once. That meant the corpse.
Jumpy?
Junpei's unsure voice at Junpei's sudden strange behavior drew his attention back to her.
Sorry for making you wait. Let's go.
So we find out that's not Snake. Yay. Are we going to find any of the secret passages? Probably not. Are we going to be able to act on that bit of information? Probably not. Maybe it is Clover that's in the coffin this time, and Snake kidnapped her and put her in the coffin so she couldn't interfere with him killing everyone else. Feels like there should be more conversation happening. Down the hall, they went searching for Clover in every corner. They had reached the stairs when 7 appeared breathless, yelling.
Junpei! June! Where were you guys?
Well, 7's not dead yet. Something terrible had happened. Junpei's breath caught in his throat.
Did something happen?
Clover is
dead?
Clover is dead.
Interesting. Interesting that we got a different ending just because we learned some other things. And reality just shifted again.
I found her in the first class bathroom.
First class bathroom. So is she faking her? Could you fake her being blown up? Really? And we have like a completely different animation here. And this is the room with the item in the combination lock that we never found the combination for. I didn't think we'd come back to this room. And it does seem fairly obvious that either in the casino or the first class room there is a secret passage to something else. I don't know if it's a secret passage all the way to behind the 3 door, but that would make sense that you would be able to get the body and drag it from behind the 5 door into the first class room and then through a secret passage all the way to the shower room. Yep. That's hard to fake. Yep. And I have to applaud the animator for again not animating an upskirt shot here on the probably underage girl. She has like a bandage on her knee that is just like a little extra and unnecessary. And the high heels and are a little too much. Why would Snake kill his sister though? That's the real question. June's mouth moved, but he heard nothing. She tried once more and the energy was gone. She collapsed against the wall. He could have helped her, but he hadn't, and now she was dead. This still might be a good ending if you can get the bracelet off of her. Might be helpful. He stood there frozen in place.
Clover.
Everybody left. The remaining 6 of them are all in the same room, though. And it would have been hard for anybody to really get away, break away from the group and kill Clover. So, I mean, she might have killed herself. She is in the bathroom with the bathtub, so maybe she slit her own wrist or something.
Why? Why did
But
this
it
happen?
doesn't really look like that's the case, the way this is drawn. I'll try not to read out all of this. 3 fingers against her neck, no pulse, and no breath. And now they're cutting away to a very high resolution image for a Nintendo DS background image. Again, why pay an animator to animate this? just because you don't want to have to animate something that is a little bloody. I think they should be showing no horror in the blood. And particularly for the story they're telling. So she was stabbed in the back, apparently. A gash just beneath her shoulder blade. Was the weapon a knife, perhaps? If it was a knife, the killer had taken it when they left. When he closed his eyes, he saw Clover smile. Yeah, it seems like Clover never gets a good story, no matter what. Things go bad for her in almost at every turn. I'm not sure what is under her right eye, by the way. I feel like they are probably some kind of fashion stickers or bejewels or something. Yeah, trying to make Clover more of a martyr than she really seemed like she was, because she was kind of hard to get along with and fall in love with. That this would have been a better story had they put all of their focus on either making Junpei get really, really close to Clover or June, not both. And just combining those two characters would have worked fairly well. I mean, you really wouldn't even have had to change the story much. You could have entered the 9 room, found that June didn't enter the 9 room and instead ran away, or she just gets upset during a conversation in the 9 room and runs away, and then the exact same thing can happen from the perspective of June. She runs away, you run around looking for her, you find her in the bathroom stabbed in the back.
No way.
He could have done something, he could have helped her. We still haven't unlocked the lock, or have we? I think we have unlocked the lock now. So I think we did it. This is different story. Really different story.
Let's get out of here, June.
But still nobody's smart enough to figure out to take the bracelets. And in this case in particular, she would have probably had Zero's bracelet also on her inner pocket. And I wouldn't be surprised if they open the safe in the closet and there's just a whole second group of bracelets also.
Are you alright?
So let's just hurry up and see what happens.
Yes, I think so.
Fever had gone down. Why do we care about the fever at this point? But the emotional scars she'd received were not likely to recede as quickly. Junpei laid his hand on her shoulder and they walked back to the bedroom.
Should get some rest.
Yep. So since we are in this room, getting the sheet music might be useful.
Here, the bed.
Be funny if she lays on the bed and it opens a secret passage.
Yes.
I mean, there's plenty of places where people could have sat down in this game and it opened a secret passage. Here we have another angle looking upward for no good reason. Ace, Lotus, Santa, and 7. So, that's the remaining 6 of them. Each one of them went to the look at Clover.
Who was the first to find the body?
So now we're going to make an accusation, I think.
Me.
7. 7's hand was up.
Why did you come to this room?
To look for Clover. Why else? I found her body in the bathroom. As soon as I did, I ran outside. I got to the top of the stairs by the casino and yelled as loud as I could. Hey, guys! I found her, but it's bad! She's in the bathroom in the first-class cabin! Come quick! Or something like that. Then I went back to the bathroom. Ace, Santa, and Lotus showed up real soon after that. But I guess you two hadn't heard me or something because you didn't show. So I took off down the stairs to look for you. After that, I mean, you know the rest, right?
So 7 was the only person alone with the body, pretty much. There's one more thing you needed to ask.
7. There's one more thing I'm worried about.
What?
You stuck one of those plates in between the door and the frame, right? Why did you do that?
That's the question.
Come on, didn't I already tell you that? I did it so that the door wouldn't lock. So we could come back to this room? Oh, you think I did it?
Well, I don't know. That kind of depends on what you say, doesn't it?
For crying out loud. Follow me.
So he has you follow him. The 2 doors standing next to one another. You open the one on the right.
A closet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 stepped inside. He stood in front of the shelves that filled it and gestured towards a small wooden box. A small box. Box with small metal cube. They looked at Junpei.
This is the reason. This safe.
This safe.
We couldn't open it when we were getting through this room. I figured there might be something pretty important in it. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I figured eventually we might figure out what the numbers are for the safe. And if we did, I didn't want to screw around with door 5 again. So I put the plate in the exit door so we could get back in that way. You get it now?
Yeah.
Did we ever get the numbers to that? No. Grab the handle and shook it.
Figured it wouldn't open. Huh?
Something happened though. There's a one change, however.
This
is just underneath the safe was a pile of fine reddish brown powder. Rust. What does that mean? Junpei stared at it, considering.
If there's rust here, that means...
that the place has been underwater before?
Has someone opened the safe?
Or, okay, I wasn't really following that logic. Kind of sucks to not be ahead of the story in some places and then be way ahead of the story in a lot of other places. Junpei left the closet. 7 followed them back into the bedroom. Lotus, Santa. At least when they're making the grunt sounds this time, they're showing everybody. This might serve a small purpose of just reminding you what each character looks like, in case you forgot. But they do it way too often. And it really does feel like the author basically had every person's name in a list and he would just cycle through each person. And if he decided that they didn't need to say anything, he would just leave it in his writing, in his manuscript, that the person says nothing, instead of just eliminating that completely. Or that the author perhaps was getting confused even himself as far as who was in what room at what time. Junpei turned and headed for the living room. Anything to get out of here? We're still at this decision point. It feels to me like we might get another escape to the room puzzle.
Maybe there's another clue. Anything that might lead us to discover who stabbed Clover.
Are we gonna get another escape the room in this, or this escape the room? So I caught on the door. The door that led to the passage of door number 5.
Behind this door.
Behind that door is either still going to be the exploded remains of the number 9 man, or nothing.
The 9th man's body is behind there.
Or is it?
Maybe I should have another look at it, just in case.
Yes, please do. Don't leave that plot hole.
Ugh.
Smell hit him like a blow to the face.
Oh, the hell. This smell is...
Remember, we weren't allowed to go back into this area last time we were here. The other characters wouldn't let you. Well, we have an actual point in which he vomits. So, did he just vomit up the explosive? The dead body is still there. So there has to have been a second dead body. The bracelet's missing. Apparently.
Wait.
That's when he noticed.
It's gone. His bracelet. It's gone.
So, if Snake needed the number 9 bracelet, that only 9 and 2 only gets him to 11. He needs 7's bracelet also. Or 7 needs Snake's bracelet and the number 9 man's bracelet. Or he's going to take the bracelet from Clover and add it to like Santa's bracelet. It could be lots of different combinations depending on if 0 is Snake or not, and it seems like it is.
It was right next to the glasses.
Nice use of video game flashback to just remind you.
But why?
Had someone taken it, yeah. When he heard 7's voice.
Where'd Junpei go?
Of course, Junpei just
Oh, there you are.
made himself look
Looking for something in
guilty.
the hallway?
It's gonna be funny if he makes everybody turn out their pockets, and that's how we find out who the killer is.
Yeah.
Did you find something?
He thought for a moment before he responded.
No, nothing.
Technically, it wasn't a lie.
What's up?
Well, I wanted you to take a look at something.
Okay.
What is it?
7 led Junpei back to the bathroom.
Clover.
As Clover's corpse came into view, he felt his heart flip and then fall to the bottom of his stomach. Something between the sigh and groans escaped his lips.
What was it you wanted to show me?
His voice was hollow and empty.
I searched Clover's body again.
Okay.
A real shame. She was stabbed once in the back, probably by a knife or something.
Probably from the kitchen.
And I found this.
What did he find? As he spoke, he moved around Clover's head. He knelt down and flipped her right hand, open her right hand.
What?
A note. Yep. They're going really slow here. She's holding a piece of paper.
I haven't actually looked at it yet. Didn't want to disturb the crime scene, you know? Basic stuff. Well, I did borrow one thing.
What?
Borrowed one thing.
I'm opening it.
These people are really, really bad at the buddy system.
Truth had gone, and truth had gone.
Now truth is asleep in the darkness of the sinister hand. Is this supposed to be the combination to opening the coffin? I guess if this was localized and translated, this might mean something more. This might be a haiku translated. You have 3, 3, 4. And then 1. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Truth is said a lot. TRUTH would be a 5 thing. 5-letter word, so maybe there's just the number 5, which would be me, Junpei. Now truth is asleep in the darkness of the sinister hand is a 10 word long number, so that wouldn't really work probably. If it was each line, then maybe then you'd have 6 and then 4 and then 7 and then 5. That might be the combination.
Now truth is asleep in the darkness of the sinister hand.
The part of that does imply that there's some level of manipulation of this this phrase to get a specific number. Otherwise you would just start with now truth is asleep instead.
What is this? Some kind of secret code?
You began the pace attempting to decode the note.
Code.
First clue was likely the phrase sinister hand. Sinister hand means what? Really? You're gonna do this to me, game? The left hand or the right hand? Which one is the sinister hand? Well, it was in her left hand. Or no, her right hand. And if Snake is the killer, it would be in his right hand. Was there any puzzle or anything where we had a sinister hand? In the laboratory we had 2 left arms, but we also had 2 right arms. So I guess I have to just guess right hand, and the game is just going to screw me over, I suppose, if I choose wrong. Because I can't save right now.
That's not right.
So it just tells you, no, that's not right. Interesting. Let's go ahead and make a safety save while we're at it. So I hope I don't have to play through the game a second time to that point just to pick the other choice.
In heraldry, the term sinister was used to refer to the left side of a coat of arms.
Well, that just comes out of nowhere. We have seen no coat of arms whatsoever in this game. Let me just think real hard for a second. No, there's been absolutely no coat of arms in this game. Not a single one. And why Junpei would know that makes no sense, or why he'd be thinking about that makes no sense. So it's the left side. Okay.
Or more accurately, it referred to things on the left side of a bearer of a coat of arms.
Okay.
The left hand. The left hand. What does the left hand mean?
Snake. Junpei looked at his own left arm. The bracelet on his wrist. The truth is gone. The truth is gone. So is there just some way to press certain buttons on this bracelet and get it to come off?
Does the darkness of the sinister hand have something to do with the bracelet?
I guess. Why would Clover need to encode this message though, if she's hiding it in her hand and clearly the killer didn't find it anyways? Yeah, it seems like she's awkwardly making it more of a puzzle than it needs to be.
There's two things sticking out on either side of the face. The left and right sides of the face.
Yeah, and nobody messed with those at all.
Left and right. Left and right. Right and left. Truth is gone.
Truth had gone, truth had gone, and truth had gone. Now truth is asleep in the darkness of the sinister hand. This almost feels like this was a note not written by Clover but Zero, and she just found it and got killed before she could give it to anybody else.
Truth gone.
Not following. Truth and gone would be a 5-letter word and a 4-letter word. Truth, gone. Maybe those two words. How about reading it out loud? How about switching the sentence around? What else could gone and truth mean? How about reading them backwards? Okay. If you read them backwards, it doesn't do anything. It'd be funny if there's a microphone on the bracelets. How about switching this sentence around? Gone had truth. Gone had truth. That doesn't make any sense. What else could gone and truth mean? Let's see. Let's read it out loud, I guess. Again, we're given a choice here that seems kind of very late in the game and arbitrary.
There's something about how they sound out loud.
And again, if this is being localized from Japanese, maybe the word truth and gone sound like some numbers or something.
Truth gone. Nope. They sounded the same in my head.
Time for a different idea. Let's just try switching the sentence around, and then we'll try reading it backwards.
How about switching the sentence around? Gone had truth. Well, that makes even less sense. Clearly, switching the words isn't going to help.
So it does seem like you can just do them all.
How about reading them backwards? Gone and truth. Enog and Hittert.
Yeah.
What am I saying? Those aren't even words. I doubt that's what the riddle was trying to say. Wasn't a bad idea, though.
So we are being able to at least exhaust all the options in this decision, but that doesn't really help in the fact that there was a decision before this that we didn't exhaust all the options. So if this game really does require you to exhaust every single option before you get the true ending, that would be really frustrating.
What else could gone and truth mean?
Let's see. Away. True. I'm not following. Like, truth doesn't have a lot of synonyms. Gone has a few.
Truth, of course, means something that is correct, something that's fact. In other words, something that is right.
Right? And gone, I guess, means left.
You could then safely assume that gone means left.
Okay, now I follow.
After all, after someone left, they were gone. But in this case, they clearly refer to their directional homonyms. And truth equals right, and gone equals left.
But this couldn't be a solution to the safe. This would have to be something that takes the bracelets off. And this doesn't feel like this would be the good ending if you don't catch Snake really and Clover is dead.
The left and right of the bracelet.
Be interesting if they're not buttons on the left or right side, but they're actually like photo cells that can sense light, so you have to like block them to activate them.
These two things sticking out. So if I
press them in the following order. Oh, really? Well, they're really gonna screw me here. Truth would be right, and then gone, then right, and then left, and then right and left. I guess this is the order. I don't want to get this wrong. There's clearly a lot of options here that are pretty obviously wrong. Right, left, right, left, right, left. It's kind of like the Konami code. Yeah, and they're not going to give you a choice if you make a mistake, I guess. And I'm not willing to reload the game several times just to find out. And then what? One, two, three, four, five, six. One after another, 8 numbers flashed on, then off of the face of Junpei's bracelet. And then it says 1, telling you Ace is the killer.
Wait, did it just...
You checked one more time to be sure. 1, 4, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
Apparently that's the code. So I'm going to write that down just in case we need it. 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. Let's see. And I'm going to label it the bracelet code. Yeah, weird. Because now we still have to get this code, if it is the code to the coffin, somehow as an epiphany in a different timeline to get the other ending. And I'm not sure how that's supposed to work.
Hey, what are those numbers?
But Junpei should now take 7's bracelet and put in the same code and see what happens. But that would probably be a little risky too.
1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
So this is probably,
1438342.
seemingly, this is going to be the combination to this safe.
8342.
So he slowly dialed in the numbers to bracelet. So this clue must have been in this room at some point. And we must have just missed it.
1 to the right, 4 to the left, and... Oh,
They skipped the rest of it, thank goodness.
bingo. I knew it was for this.
Pull it open and find
Is this some sort of note?
nothing big, just a note. It's roughly the same size as the one Clover had been
Let's see.
holding. Picked it up. This is what it said. Fact 1. The Nonary game was played once before 9 years ago. Oh, this is going to be a really terrible way to just wrap up the story, isn't it? Fact 2. The person with the number 2 bracelet attended the game 9 years ago. Snake, okay, we kind of knew that. Fact 3. It was planned by the following people. Played or planned? It says planned. Cradle Pharmaceutical CEO Gentaru Hongo. Yeah, Hongo. The number 1. Cradle Pharmaceutical Chief of Staff Nagisa Nijisaki, which might be Lotus, or it might be the number 9 guy. Cradle Pharmaceutical R&D Supervisor. So 4 people somehow planned and executed this Nonary game. Teruaki Kubuta. Teruaki. I think Teru is probably a male name. And majority shareholder in Cradle Pharmaceuticals, Kagachika Musashido. We don't know any of these people by their names, and the code names clearly are showing some signs, but all 4 of these people couldn't be those working at Cradle Pharmaceuticals, because what you would have to do is have Ace have the face blindness, which we have kind of confirmed, so he doesn't recognize the 3 other people. You have the number 9 guy be one of the employees, either the Chief of Staff RD or a majority shareholder, and him being blown up, again not recognized by Ace. And then you would have had the other 2 people on this list having to work together. I must punish them. Interesting. For the innocent lives they sacrificed. Apparently it was more than 1 life. Although maybe they're being more poetic there and saying they sacrificed the lives of even the people that made it out of the Nonary game alive. This is the only warning they will receive. That innocent souls might be saved. I now state the truth. 0. So it's like a confession letter. Junpei left the closet. Clearly, though, like Clover and Snake and June and Junpei couldn't be, like, any of the younger characters couldn't have been working at Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Unless you're gonna make the claim that somehow June is super rich and she has a majority shareholder stake in it. 5 people waiting in the room, and at least one, if not 4 of them, are against our Cradle Pharmaceutical employees. And we're still at this point. That is the crazy part. Like, it seems like we would have been in the next narrative section. Ace, Lotus, Santa, 7, and June.
Sorry, but do you think you could all come with me?
Come with you.
Yes.
I want all of you to go to the big hospital room.
Okay.
Why?
There's something I want to be sure of.
What do you want to be sure of?
Why do we have to go to the hospital room, I wonder?
I want to know if the person I suspect is really the culprit.
Wait, then you're saying...
Yeah. I think I've got it figured out.
Interesting.
I know who killed Snake and Clover.
Okay. Let's find out who it was.
Anyway, if you could all please move to the big hospital room.
Like, going to the big hospital
I'll
room
explain everything as soon as we get
isn't even like the most open area. I would bring everybody to the stairs and ask everybody to like stand in a circle 10 feet apart. That way they'd be outside of stabbing range. Then almost as of on cue, the bell began to ring. They all heard it. It was the bell from the clock in the main staircase. Is this just going to move everybody not into the hospital room, but instead into the... Bell rang 5 times and ceased. I've only got an hour left.
A lot of time left. Let's go.
They followed Junpei out the room, which
Actually,
is surprising.
Before we get started, I was hoping you could do something for me.
Stopped in front of the 3 door and turned around.
7 and Lotus, could you please place your palms on the red?
Huh?
Why? If we need to get to the shower room, why don't we just...
No, we're not going inside.
Okay.
Once you've authenticated, step away from the door.
Why?
Please, just do it. Or perhaps you don't want to know who killed Snake and Clover.
So they... I don't get the point here. Are they testing to see if this red will just open no matter what?
Ace? Lotus?
Very well.
Sure.
Ace, 2, and 3. They quickly press their palms onto the red. So it feels like Junpei may jump through this door to test his theory. Either that, or he's just planning on shoving somebody through it to kill them, but I don't even see the point in that, because it would feel like they could probably escape in enough time, and maybe that wouldn't matter, maybe it wouldn't. The 3 asterisks shown on the red display panel.
I have this idea.
What's the idea?
I don't think this device responds to a hand placed on it.
Let's see. So they're going to we're going along here as an experiment.
It instead reacts to a bracelet being brought close. You don't actually need a hand.
He held his bracelet over the scanner. 4th asterisk appeared, just as Junpei had expected. It was possible to authenticate without placing one's palm on the red, so as long as a bracelet was brought near it, Junpei pulled the lever down. Door 3 opened like a hungry mouth. 9 seconds passed. That would have been a great opportunity for somebody to push him through it. The door shut for him. Sand Engine joined him as well.
Huh?
Well, are we gonna end on a cliffhanger, or are we gonna make it all the way to the ending? I think we're gonna have to end on a cliffhanger here. Apologies for that, but the risk we run as this game continues to take forever is that I managed to get through this ending, and then I managed to get the final ending very, very quickly, and we don't even go for an hour in the last recording. And that probably wouldn't matter too much, but it would kind of suck if it was just like a 5-minute video, considering how all of these other videos have been hour and a half plus in length. So I'm going to end it here. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.